Just arrived in New York. I just got below the 14th Street barricade by showing ID, NYU ID, and it's incredible. People are just milling around and wearing handkerchiefs because the air is so thick with dust. There's just hundreds and hundreds of people in Union Square Park who can't get in, but who are just standing around, milling around, and there's people waving American flags. And you can see the police over there. That's the barricade. And people are trying to get in. Here's a woman arguing because she wants to get in, but she can't get in. And trying to show ID, trying to get in. This is all along 14th Street. So the city's happening above 14th Street, but if you look below, there's no traffic, there's no cars. A few emergency vehicles.
Beautiful morning. We had come in because I had an appointment at 1:30. And it was such a beautiful morning that shortly before 9, we decided that we would walk around the village. Our apartment's on 3rd Street. Walk around the village, walk on Thompson Street to see what happened to the Gran Ticino restaurant that we heard had closed, and then walk toward the World Trade Center, where we always liked walking along the outside of the World Trade Center. And so we did walk, and we started walking on Thompson Street, and I suddenly heard and saw this jet plane that was very loud and much too close to the ground, and I yelled to call the police. I mean, my thought was that this plane was just going to crash. And a man ran out of one of the restaurants, one of the workers, and he looked up too, and within seconds, we saw the smoke. And people screaming, look, the plane had hit the World Trade Center.
I was heading out on Friday morning, and it was raining, and this is in Lower Manhattan at Washington Square Village, an impromptu memorial. People were sad, I guess that's the best way to describe them. People were quiet and just looking at all these notes and candles, stuffed animals and things like that. Nobody was talking. So I was taken by all this. I just wanted to get out of the city, and I was heading north and wanted to get to Grand Central, and they were just starting to let traffic down into Lower Manhattan.
The moment when there were no airplanes in the sky. They had stopped all the airplanes several hours later. But the noises of airplanes just filled the sky because there were helicopters and there were army planes. And I tell you, you can confirm it, I jumped every time I heard an airplane. Then I mean, it took hours before I just realized, the reality began to sink in.
My sister Julie had just been married a couple days before, and she was on Maui with her husband Steve when they got stuck because the planes all went, all stopped moving.
I don't know the exact route. Yeah. But I do have these bouts of anxiety until she's on the ground and I know that she's worried.
Right.
And that she'd never been afraid of flying, and now she's panicked, and I kept saying, no, there's great security in the airports, but I know in my heart that's not the way I feel. And so I am, of course, worried about her. And then I think of what could have happened. She could have been married a week later, and the flight that she took to first to LA and then she could have been on that flight. You know, all the things that could have been, that she could have been on that flight, and
She flew out of. Did she fly out of Boston? Out west?
She flew out of Boston.
Yes.
Yes, she flew out of Boston.
Yeah.
I keep seeing that plane flying overhead, and you know, just my thought: call the police. I mean, and also I think about not knowing what the implications of that. You know, keep reliving that moment. Was just a moment before. I say now dramatically, the world changed. Yeah, I keep seeing that plane over my head, saying it's too close to the ground. Yeah, I do wake up in the middle of the night thinking about that airplane that you know, what was there and wasn't there, and the people aboard the flight.
Since it ultimately turned out that 4 airplanes were hijacked, and all of those people, innocent people, were killed because the hijackers just ran into buildings, the Pentagon crashed. And you feel, isn't this terrible? People were just on regular civilian flights across the country, and they were killed.
This is Union Square, just above 14th Street on the morning when I'm heading out of the city.
My grandchildren and this very special child, young ones, and she's the youngest, have such great meaning and sense of comfort when she got on the phone that she sang with me.
Yeah.
I went into the water and she sang joyously.
Yes.
And I had a sense of relief that through this all that she could be happy, and my wish is that she retains that kind of innocence, and that positively, that she has a family that loves her, and there are many loving people in this world, and many people are reaching out, and it will be